Alright guys, welcome back to Shir. We're going over the Hilchis of Paysach, and it's a super long series that we're going to try to finish before Yom Tov. And so we're holding by the walk home from shul. I just wanted to say a quick hashkacha practice story that happened. So Rebbe was supposed to leave to shul this morning at 7:50 was a flight to make my Yerida, and I got to the airport like mamish around 6:50, so it was an hour before. And by the time I got to the desk, they said, "Oh, the gate was closed. You can't get on. Nothing we can do." I was so upset. I was like, it was like in the Ela, and the gates were closing, and I couldn't get my last tefillah in, and I was thinking about it, and it hit me, and I said to the flight stewardess, I was like, you can't do anything, but Hashem can if you daven. And so she looked at me, and I just started davening, and anyway, so I missed the flight, and I had to book a new one. It was really a lot of Hanukkah guilt, but I was thinking it's a perfect setup story for like hashkacha practice to happen. So as soon as the practice comes, I'm gonna tell the Olam all about it. So we're talking about the walk home from shul. So what's the whole inyan of walking home from shul? The whole inyan of walking home from shul is that you should be able to look at all the fancy houses and talk about who lives where and who does what, and talk about the cars people are leasing, and so that you can see people that you don't normally get to see, and you guys can pretend that you're like mamish, like interested in what's going on with them, and get the hawk. So, like when you first, just to get out of shul, obviously you have to have the one, the Nachshon ben Aminadav of the group, the little boy with the brightest white shirt. He can get into the coat room and out without getting kidnapped and JCW'd. So you send him in to there and with like a cord or something attached, and he comes out. He can get everybody's London fog coats. Obviously, some bochurim are holding a Burberry, but we're not all ferrogaming around all day. So he gets everybody's jackets, and you can get out of shul, and you gotta all gather around like a little flock, like loads of sheep, right on the sidewalk, and you guys, this is where like the real Yom Tov is beginning. This is where like Bnei Yisrael is coming together to get ready on this huge journey through the midbar to get back home. So everyone has to make sure that if you have that kid that's really sticky with lollipops all over him and he's the biggest brat, if he got to shul, this is the perfect place to leave him. Alright, you guys can go home and you can just tell them you thought they had the kid because it was a time for his like Benadryl bottle or whatever. But you can limit to do that, and you can just leave them there. And it's a machaya. I mean, it's like Mamish Min Hashemayim. Hashem gives you a perfect opportunity. Hashem gives you lemon. Like we said, make the disgusting water with the one lemon in it. So you can go. You start walking home. It's usher to speak lashon hara about somebody, his business, unless he did something to you. Okay, so if you're walking home and you just see some guy who owns a pizza shop, you can't look at his house and say, "Oh, Yankee, yeah, wow, he's definitely putting a lot of money into his house." Not as much into his weight loss, but you can't do that unless you're in real estate and you were investing with him and he screwed you. Then you could be like, you could tell to your edim, because you're bringing your edim hopefully to your seder, or you're the mechutanim. You could just be like, Lamaisa, whatever. I hope he enjoys it, but I happen to know that he's under investigation, and they're going to take it all. So you walk home, you can see what's halach if you see an old person. You see an old person, you're supposed to say good Shabbos, Kiyam, do whatever it is, keep walking. You don't get into discussions. You don't want to hear about how lonely they are because you don't have enough room in your dining room for any more orchim. Okay, so you have to make it home. But what's halach if you see somebody, you see an old friend of yours, someone walking down the street, so you want to say hi to him. You don't want to make him feel left out of place. But there's a zman to get home so that the Rebbetzins can stop eating each other up all over the diapers and talking about duty and like what kind of pumps they're using. You want to be able to save them from all the awkward conversation and get to the meal, because someone's going to get yelled at if they didn't get the meal started. So what do? You see your friend and he's telling you about his his uncle or someone who's just got into BMG, and he's really he's holding whatever, and you want to make up a story. So you can sit for a second. For shalom, you can lie, you can make up a story. You could just say I happen to be related to Reb Newman, whatever, like I'm his son, and then you can keep walking home. So the whole meal we're going to get to, this is going to be the real Indian Dikka part of the whole series, but we don't have enough time. We're already 4 minutes in, so we're going to have to let you guys out early, and we're going to get to that Mir Hashem tomorrow. Alright, Mir Hashem though. Alright, Bli and her. Shkach.